What if I told you, the moment you're about to quit is the exact moment your life is about to change forever? This is not just a speech, it's the battle cry of every broken soul who refused to stay down. If you've ever felt like giving up, you need to hear this. All of it. The floor was cold under my bare feet. I could feel the cracks. Sharp. Rough. Like the world was trying to cut through me. The air was thick. Not warm. Not cold. Just heavy. Like it did not want me to breathe. My heart was beating too loud. Each thump echoed inside my head. My hands were shaking. But not from fear. From rage. From disbelief. I looked around. The walls were too close. They felt like they were watching. Judging. Smiling at my pain. I had trusted them. Every word. Every promise. And they crushed it all. Like it was never real. They said I was not enough. Not strong. Not smart. Not worthy. They laughed when I fell. They walked away when I begged. They closed the doors. Locked them. Threw away the key. I lay there on the ground. No one came. No hand. No voice. Just silence. But silence can scream. And that day, it did. It screamed louder than anything I had ever heard. My eyes burned. Not from tears. From fire. Something had lit inside me. I tasted blood on my lip. I had bitten down too hard. Not from pain. From holding it all in. I stood up. Not because someone told me to. Not because it was easy. But because something inside me refused to stay down. I stared at the mirror. My reflection did not blink. It looked broken. But alive. And angry. I raised my chin. My voice was raw. But it came out clear. I will not quit. Even if the road burns. Even if the sky turns black. Even if my legs give out. Even if my hands bleed. Even if my voice cracks. I will not quit. Because quitting means they win. Because quitting means they were right. Because quitting means I give them my soul. And they cannot have it. They did not build me. They do not get to break me. My bones may snap. My skin may bruise. My mind may scream. But I will not. I will not. I will not quit. I took one step forward. And the ground groaned beneath me. It was not ready. But I was. Every part of me. Every scar. Every failure. Every heartbreak. They did not destroy me. They formed me. I walked through the ruins of what I once believed. Smoke curled in the air. Ash settled on my shoulders. But I kept moving. My breath was sharp. But I was breathing. My legs were stiff. But they carried me. I heard the voices. The old ones. The ones that told me to stop. To give up. To fade away quietly. They whispered in my ear. Like snakes coiled behind my neck. Their words dripped with venom. You will not make it. You are alone. No one cares. But I smiled. Because I had heard those lies before. And I was still standing. I passed the place where they laughed. Their faces frozen in memory. Mouths wide. Eyes cruel. They said I would never rise. But here I was. One step. Then another. I passed the door they locked. I had scratched it once. Begged once. Waited once. But not anymore. Now I walked past it. Like it was just a broken chapter. Not the end of my story. The rain started. Hard. Cold. Unforgiving. It soaked my clothes. Drenched my skin. Clung to my soul. but it could not put out the fire inside. Lightning split the sky. And for a moment, everything was white. Blinding. Raw. Alive. I saw my own shadow on the wall. Tall. Twisted. But still upright. I clenched my fists. And the wind screamed. As if it wanted to tear me apart. As if it hated that I was still moving. Let it scream. Let it rage. I would not be moved. I was no longer the same. Not the quiet one. Not the weak one. Not the forgotten one. I was forged in this pain. Molded in this silence. Sharpened by every betrayal. I did not need applause. I did not need permission. I only needed purpose. And I had found it. In the middle of the wreckage. I had found it. To rise. To fight. To become everything they said I could never be. I would not quit. Not now. Not ever. Even if my knees broke. Even if my voice was the only one I heard. Even if I had to crawl through glass. Through fire. Through lies. Through shadows. I would still go on. Because I am more than what they see. More than what they fear. More than what they left behind. I am the storm they never expected. I am the answer to every doubt they cast. I am the proof that broken does not mean beaten. So let them come. Let the world try again. Let it throw everything at me. Pain. Loss. Loneliness. Let it pour. I will not raise my hands and surrender. I will raise them to build. To break walls. To lift others. To climb higher. Because every time I fell, I learned how to rise better. Because every time they walked away, I learned how to walk alone. Because every time I cried, I washed away the weakness they tried to plant in me. And now, there is no going back. Only forward. Only through. They will not see me beg. They will not see me stop. They will not see me fade. I will write my story. In scars. In sweat. In truth. And I will scream it so loud that every soul who feels forgotten, every heart that feels broken, every dream buried under dust, will know they are not alone, will know that they can stand, will know that pain is not the end. It is the beginning. I will not quit. Because someone out there is watching. Waiting. Needing hope. Needing proof that survival is possible. That rising is possible. That light can still be found. Even after the darkest night. So I walk. I run. I climb. Through fear. Through failure. Through fire. And I carry the message with me. In every step. In every breath. In every heartbeat. I will not quit. And neither should you. I will not quit. And neither should you. Because quitting is not the end of pain. It is the beginning of regret. Quitting will not save you. It will haunt you. It will sit in the back of your mind. A silent ghost. Whispering. What if? And you will hear it. At night. When the world is quiet. When your heart beats loud in your chest. And your dreams try to breathe again. You will feel it. When you watch someone else rise. Someone who kept going. Someone who did not listen to the same lies you did. Someone who hurt too. But moved anyway. That ache. That twist in your chest. That is not envy. That is a buried version of you. The version that could have made it. Do not bury that version. Do not shut it down to make others comfortable. Do not let their fear define your limits. You are not meant to survive quietly. You are meant to roar. To break ceilings. To rewrite rules. You are not too late. You are not too broken. You are not too tired. You are just at the edge. And the edge is not the end. It is the beginning of something bigger. I know it feels like the world has forgotten you. That your name does not matter. That your voice disappears into noise. But it does matter. It always did. You were just taught to silence it. To shrink. To obey. To stay where it is safe. But safety is not where legends are born. Comfort never made anyone extraordinary. Greatness is uncomfortable. Unpredictable. Unforgiving. But it is yours. If you want it enough. You will bleed for it. You will cry for it. You will fall for it. Again. And again. And again. But you will rise higher each time. And one day, not far from now, you will look back at this moment, this night, this decision, and you will realize that this was the turn, the shift, the crack of light in the wall of darkness. Because you chose to fight. You chose to breathe through the fire, to walk through the chaos, to scream when no one listened, and keep walking anyway. That is power. That is strength. That is courage. Not the absence of fear, but the refusal to kneel before it. Do not wait for someone to save you. Do not wait for perfect timing. There is no perfect time to rise. No applause when you begin. There is just you. And the decision. To go again. Even when your body says no. Even when your soul aches. Even when your faith trembles. You go again. Because deep down, something inside you knows. This is not how your story ends. You were not born to break. You were born to bend. To stretch. To endure. To become something unshakable. The storm came. Yes. But you are still standing. The fire burned. Yes. But you are still breathing. The world doubted. Yes. But you are still moving. So move. One step. That is all it takes. Just one. And then another. And then another. Until the pain becomes purpose. Until the scars become symbols. Until the tears become fuel. You do not owe them silence. You do not owe them surrender. You owe yourself truth. You owe yourself one last try. And then one more. And one more. Until you no longer count the failures. Because you are too focused on the climb. You will reach the top. And it will not be loud. It will not be shiny. It will be quiet. And still. And powerful. And you will whisper to yourself, I made it. I survived everything they said would break me. I became who I was meant to be. And that moment, that truth, that feeling, it will be worth every night like this one. Every breath you had to fight for. Every second you wanted to give up. Because you did not quit. You never quit. You chose to live. Fully. Fiercely. Unapologetically. And now the world will know your name. Not because they gave it value, but because you did. You gave it weight. With your grit. With your sweat. With your refusal to vanish. So rise. Walk into the storm. Walk into the fire. Walk into the pain. Not to be hurt, but to be reborn. Because the ones who rise from the ashes are not lucky. They are relentless. And you are relentless. You are still here. Still breathing. Still burning. And no one gets to take that from you. You have come too far. You have lost too much. You have waited too long. To quit now. You are not done. You are just getting started. You are just getting started. There is a force inside you. It has been quiet, ignored, pushed down for years. But now, it is waking up. It is the fire they tried to smother, the voice they tried to silence, the dream they said was impossible. You feel it. You hear it. That low hum beneath your ribs. That silent scream in your throat. That pull in your chest when you see something greater. When you imagine something more. That is not fantasy. That is not foolishness. That is your calling. The thing you were born to chase. Before the world taught you how to run away. They made you doubt it. They made you forget it. But it never left you. And now it is demanding your attention. You were not made to drift. You were not made to blend in. You were not made to live a quiet life full of loud regrets. You were made to create, to lead, to defy, to rise. The world will not hand you a crown. It will not build your throne. You will have to carve it. With bleeding hands. With sleepless nights. With a spine that refuses to bend. You will lose friends. You will break routines. You will disappoint people who never truly saw you. But you will find something far more rare. You will find yourself. The raw, real, unshaped, unfiltered version of you. The one that does not shrink to fit. The one that does not apologize for wanting more. The one that does not whisper when it was born to roar. Yes, it will hurt. Yes, it will be lonely. Yes, you will question yourself more times than you can count. But do it anyway. Move anyway. Fight anyway. Because what is the alternative? A safe life wrapped in chains? A quiet death surrounded by what-ifs? A story half-written and buried beneath comfort? No. You were not built for that. Your scars are proof. Proof that you lived. That you loved. That you tried. That you kept going. And the world, the same one that tried to break you, will one day stand back and watch in silence as you rise higher than they ever imagined. They will pretend they believed in you. They will rewrite the history. They will say they always knew. But you will know the truth. You did this. Without applause. Without a map. Without a guarantee. You made something from nothing. You turned pain into power. You built yourself with trembling hands. And that is strength. Not the strength they show in movies. Not the kind that wears armor. But the kind that walks through hell. Bleeding. Burning. Bare. And never stops. Because it believes. Even when no one else does. Because it sees light. Even when the world is dark. Because it refuses to die with the music still inside. So let them stare. Let them doubt. Let them whisper. You are not here to be understood. You are here to become. And becoming takes fire. You will cry. Let it fall. But do not stop. You will scream. Let it out. But do not turn back. You will fall. Hard. Fast. Painfully. But fall forward. Always forward. Let your bruises be badges. Let your silence become a storm. Let your steps shake the ground beneath you. You are no longer asking for space. You are claiming it. With fire in your breath. And purpose in your eyes. This life. Your life. It will not be perfect. But it can be powerful. Not because you were fearless. But because you feared. And kept going. Not because you were handed the chance. But because you carved it out of stone. Not because you were the loudest. But because you were the most relentless. And now. Right now. You have a choice. Lay down. Or rise again. Whisper maybe someday. Or roar right now. Stay small. Or expand so wide that the world has to make room for you. This is your hour. Your story. Your turn. Write it with courage. Shape it with action. Fuel it with pain. And finish it with pride. Because one day, someone will hear your story. And it will save them. It will lift them. It will tell them they are not alone. And that is legacy. Not trophies. Not fame. Not money. But the lives you touch. The hearts you ignite. The souls you awaken. Simply because you refuse to quit. So rise. Again. And again. And again. No matter how hard. No matter how far. No matter how heavy it gets. You rise. Because quitting is not who you are. Because quitting is not who you are. You were not sent here to fade. You were not born to break quietly. You were made of storms. Of sparks. Of moments that shook you. But never shattered you. Do you remember the first time you were told no? The first time someone looked you in the eye and said you were not enough? It did something to you. It stung. It sunk in. It carved a mark inside your mind. And maybe you doubted yourself. Maybe you shrunk. Maybe you paused. But you are still here. Still breathing. Still searching for the next step. The next win. The next fight. That fire inside you. It is not gone. It is not broken. It is waiting. Waiting for you to stop hesitating. Waiting for you to stop playing small. Waiting for you to remember who you are. And what you were meant for. Not everyone will understand you. And that is fine. You are not here to be explained. You are here to be experienced. You are not here to follow. You are here to lead. Even if your legs tremble. Even if your voice shakes. Even if your hands bleed. You lead. Because deep inside, you know this life. This purpose. This pain. Is yours to carry. And when you carry it long enough, it becomes armor. It becomes fuel. It becomes your reason. Your rhythm. Your roar. They will ask you, how did you keep going? How did you not quit? How did you rise when everything tried to pull you under? And you will smile. Not with arrogance, but with a quiet fire in your soul. You will say, because I refused to end as a version of myself that never lived up to what I could have been. Because I refused to hand over my story to fear, to shame, to failure. Because I refused to let their doubt outweigh my drive. You see, there is something dangerous about a person who has nothing to lose, who has already touched rock bottom and realized they can survive it. That is you now. You survived it. You stood in the wreckage, with the dust still in your lungs, and the glass still in your feet, and you chose to walk forward. Every inch, every step, every heartbeat. Proof that you are not weak, that you are not a victim, that you are not finished. They thought the pain would break you. They thought the silence would swallow you. They thought the pressure would make you quit. But they did not know that you have a fire in your chest that cannot be drowned, cannot be buried, cannot be explained. Because you are not built from comfort. You are built from chaos, from persistence, from every moment you chose to rise, when the world gave you a reason to fall. And now you are dangerous, because now you know what lives inside you. Not weakness. Not fear. But power. Untapped. Unshaken. Unbreakable. So hold your ground. Look forward. Not backward. This next chapter is not a repeat of your past. It is a revolution. You are not who you were. You are not your lowest moment. You are not your darkest night. You are what you do next. You are what you choose. You are the decision you make. Right now. So make it count. Make it loud. Make it real. Say it. Say it like you mean it. Say it with your chest. Say it with everything they tried to take from you. I will not quit. No matter the weight. No matter the wounds. No matter the whispers. I will not quit. Because the finish line is already in sight. Because my future is already calling. And I will not silence it. I will not stall. I will not surrender. I will meet it. With blood in my veins. With fire in my breath. With strength in my spine. Because I have already lost too much. I have already waited too long. I have already watched too many chances slip through my fingers. Not this time. This time. I fight back. I go all in. I burn the boats. I lock the exits. And I rise. Even if no one claps. Even if no one sees. Even if I stand alone. I rise. Because this moment, right here, this is mine. My decision. My destiny. My roar. And when they see me, they will know. Not because I told them, but because I showed them that I never stopped, that I never gave in, that I never let their words become my limits. I wrote my own ending, and it did not sound like fear. It did not sound like defeat. It did not sound like silence. It sounded like thunder, like footsteps that shook the ground, like breath that came heavy but proud, like a heart that beat with purpose. I am the storm. I am the shift. I am the reminder that no matter how far you fall, you can always rise again. Because I will not quit. Because I will not quit. There is more ahead of me than anything I left behind. I am not chasing perfection. I am chasing purpose. And that purpose is louder than doubt, stronger than pain, more real than fear. I have walked through shadows, but I never let them define me. I have crawled on broken ground, but I never let it become my home. I have cried with my fists clenched, teeth grinding, breath short, body shaking, but I never turned back. Even when the world closed its doors, even when the lights went out, even when no hand reached for me, I kept walking. Through the storm, through the silence, through the voices in my head that told me to stop. I kept walking. Because something inside me refused to die. Something small, but defiant. Something quiet, but unshakable. A belief that I was made for more. Not more comfort, not more praise, but more impact, more truth, more legacy. I was not put here to decorate the world. I was put here to change it. And you were too. You know it. You feel it. Every time you see others rise. Every time you feel that ache. That burn. That whisper. That says, I can do more. You are not crazy. You are not unrealistic. You are simply awake. Awake to your potential. Awake to your calling. Awake to the truth that scares people. That you were never ordinary. You were just taught to play it safe. To color inside the lines. To settle. To wait. To hope someone would come and save you. But no one is coming. You are the rescue. You are the fire. You are the force that flips the page and rewrites the entire story. So stop waiting for permission. Stop waiting for motivation. Stop waiting for a perfect day. Start where it is hard. Start where it hurts. Start where it makes no sense, but feels like the only thing that matters. Because that is the path. That is the way. That is where greatness begins. Not with applause, but with struggle. Not with confidence, but with courage. Not with a finish line, but with a single, trembling step. Take that step. Not tomorrow. Not when you feel ready. Now. Breathe deep. Grit your teeth. Clench your fists if you have to. And move. Because life will not wait. Time will not pause. And dreams do not chase you back. You either rise now, or you disappear slowly. Until the world forgets your fire ever existed. But not you. You refuse to be forgotten. You refuse to live quietly. To die slowly. To leave this world without showing it your full power. You are not soft. You are not weak. You are not broken. You are becoming. And becoming is never easy. It is sweat. It is scars. It is being misunderstood. But it is worth it. Every failure. Every fall. Every moment you questioned yourself. All of it will become the foundation of something legendary. You do not have to be perfect. You do not have to be fearless. You just have to be relentless. Because relentlessness beats talent. Relentlessness outlasts luck. Relentlessness rewrites fate. And you are relentless. I can feel it in your voice. In your silence. In the way your heart keeps beating. Even when everything says stop. So keep beating. Keep breathing. Keep building. Your future self is already watching. Already waiting. Already proud. Proud of the nights you did not quit. The mornings you got up anyway. The hours you pushed through when everything ached. That version of you. The one who finally breaks through. Who finally lives free. Who finally sees it all pay off. They are real. And they are closer than you think. They are just on the other side of this moment. Right now. This choice. Right now. So what will it be? Fold? Fade? Fall into the background? Or rise? Roar? Refuse to quit even when your voice cracks and your knees shake? Choose rise. Choose pain with purpose. Over comfort with regret. Choose now. Over later. Choose forward. Over fear. You owe it to yourself. To finish what you started. To push one more time. To fall and rise again. Even if the path is ugly. Even if it is uphill. Even if no one walks it with you. Walk it anyway. Because one day, you will look back and realize, this was the moment that changed everything. Not when you won, but when you refused to lose. Not when it got easy, but when you got stronger. And when they ask how you did it, how you made it through, how you stood when others sat, how you spoke when others stayed silent, you will say, I decided to keep going. I chose to suffer forward instead of stay stuck. I stopped waiting and started becoming. And they will understand. Not just because of your words, but because of your life. Your example. Your story. Your fire. So do not stop. Do not slow. Do not settle. Your breakthrough. Your victory. Your transformation. It is waiting. And it is worth it. But only if you do not quit. So now, take a breath. Let the world be still. Just for a moment. And listen. This is your heartbeat. Still strong. Still steady. It is not racing from fear. It is rising with fire. You have walked through darkness. But you are not defined by it. You have stood in silence. But now your voice is awake. You have been broken. But you are still whole. You are not just a survivor. You are a warrior. A builder. A creator. A storm. And storms do not ask permission to rise. This life is not about waiting. It is about choosing. It is about showing up. Every single day. Even when it hurts. Even when it is lonely. Even when no one else understands. Because somewhere out there, someone is waiting to see you win. To see you rise. To see you become proof that it is possible. And they will. Because you did not stop. You did not fold. You did not fade. You fought. You believed. You kept walking when your legs begged to give out. You kept going when your heart had every reason to quit. And now, you stand taller. Not because the world changed, but because you did. You refused to break. You refused to settle. You refused to live a life built on what they expected. And that is your legacy. Not the trophies. Not the money. Not the fame. But the fire you lit. The doors you kicked open. The hope you gave. Simply by refusing to quit. So wear your story with pride. Carry your scars with honor. Hold your head high. Because you are still here. Still rising. Still becoming. And that is enough. So the next time it gets hard. The next time the weight feels too heavy. The path too long. The voice in your head too loud. Say it again. Say it with your chest. Say it until the world hears you. I will not quit. Not today. Not tomorrow. Not ever. Because I am not done. I am not finished. I am just getting started. And this life, this fight, this fire, it belongs to me now. And I will carry it all the way to the end.